the remarkable things that I've noticed since all of this started, and that I've heard from people on the radio show that I do on WDET in Detroit, is this need for people to connect. People, because they are cut off physically from each other, are really looking for a space where they can talk about this. They're looking for a space where they can learn more about what they're supposed to be doing, what they're not supposed to be doing. And they're just looking for a way to feel just a little more human. A guy who listens to the show wrote me last week and said that at the end of the week, he got laid off. And so he's lost work. And he said at the end of the note, he said, I want to continue to listen to the show, though, because I used to listen to the show while I was at work. And now this is my connection back to life before all of this started. I think the need for that kind of platform, that kind of forum, has just exploded exponentially since this happened. And people are hungry for the ability to have what you would have to call, of course, civil conversation, but it's also informative conversation. It's the ability to listen and learn together that I think has a real premium right now.
There's also, my fear is that we get in these times where people are losing jobs and people are worried about paying their bills, worried about with an uncertain future. It tends to make them much more tense and elevates the likelihood of confrontation. And, we do need to sort of get people to not break again or still into their Fox and MSNBC nations and start pointing fingers at each other and really have the kind of discussions we need to unite as a country and move this beyond. I got an email this week from a lady. It started out, "You're an idiot," and I thought, well, that's not unusual. But, she's talked about, it was a column I wrote, and she talked about your stupid view. And I sent her, usually I ignore that. I sent her back a note and said, I'd love to have a civil conversation with you on this, if you can sort of let off the name calling and the judgmental tone. And to her credit, she texted back. It took a while. It took a few exchanges before we got to the point where we were actually explaining our positions to each other and exploring the validity of that in a very, very civil manner. And, I found that to be a useful exercise, but it took patience and it took the desire to sort of cross that divide. I think we've got to stay there.
Yeah. And there are not enough opportunities right now for people to do it. There are fewer because everyone's locked in their house. They are not interacting the way they normally do. So even if you were reluctant to do it before, you at least had the opportunity. Now, a lot of those opportunities are just gone, and gone for an indefinite amount of time.
I hope not too long.